Good morning, everybody. It's Mark N here with the keys to the kingdom again. As you know, it's news time, and everyone take this time to like, share, and subscribe. Get your coffee ready and get in the chat room. Let's communicate and let's get over with the news on the order today. And here's the intro.
Good morning and welcome to Mufc Realist TV. I hope you had a good sleep. It's time to wake up, stretch your legs, stretch your arms, have a tea, have a coffee. Here we go. Here we go.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Good morning again, everybody, and how are you doing? And that should wake you up. And we have some good news for you this morning, and we have some bad news, and we have some news that's just news. So, guys, get ready because I have a good show for you this morning. I have a special guest. It's the Gaffer Mick, and he's here with me. Yeah!
Good morning, people. MUFC fans all around the world. Welcome. How you all doing? How you all doing? Hope you're doing well and prosper. Hope you stretch your legs and arms and, getting that blood circulation going into your veins because we got a lot of things to unpack in this show today. I am back as a co-host here, but of course we have the gentleman, which way that way is Mark anyway. So good morning to you people. Please don't forget to like it, this thumbs up. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's shit with Manchester United, as per usual, Mark. We are used to it, love him, hate him, adore them, but never ignore them. That's what they say, right?
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Can't even do it.
Thank God
Not
we are
for
coming
one
to
day.
the end of the international break, my friend.
Yeah, and it was been a busy one, to be fair, like suspected injuries, not suspected injuries, good performances, bad performances. It's been a weird one. So, let's step right into the man of the moment because, as we know, yesterday the takeover was supposed to be announced, but
Oh, yes.
for some reason
yes.
it
What we're going to
it
talk
was
about
just
today.
posted on social.
Yeah,
Let's get in that first, and then we'll deal with all the other news that's about because this is the major talking points that everybody wants to talk about. And as you could see with the post from Phil Bruin, Sir Jim Ratcliffe could make a significant and surprise changes at Manchester United, guys, with his 25% stake.
Oh, actually, it was posted yesterday, to be honest. It was on Twitter, on the socials, to be honest. And, that kind of sent a little bit of a shockwave through, through Twitter account saying Sir Jim Ratcliffe, 25% stake in Manchester United is a done deal. Done deal. Ineos aware of the club needs enormous amount of work internally, and that was then reported by MUFC MBP Twitter account. Follow up by the what I call it, the handle Malaysians, which is Phil Brown, to be honest. And then at the end of the day, it's I spoke to Phil yesterday and I said, look, I'm just to make a little bit jokes aside. All we need is Fabrizio Romano to say done deal, here we go, and no personal terms, not a problem. So I said this is not a transfer window. We're just laughing about it, but at the end of the day, you got to talk about it, Mark. We got to talk about the Sky News. Last week they were saying it's going to happen Monday. Then it happened to be the funeral. That didn't happen. Then on Tuesday. And then on Friday came, it's going to happen this Monday. And now we're hearing Thanksgiving Thursday. And then we're going to hear, next year or never. I don't know. We just want it to end, to be honest, right? So if I dive in, if we dive into specifically what the paper talks is saying, Mark, it's basically Sir Jim Ratcliffe could make significant and surprise changes at Manchester United. And I feel I want to dive into this article and have a debate, with the fan base as well. So, guys, please let us know in the comments section below as well. Mark, if you don't mind, number one, what is this saying? Manchester United is undergoing major changes where Sir Jim Ratcliffe set to acquire 25% in the club, Mark. This could lead to a surprise, unexpected decision at Old Trafford. this word, when they say could, Mark, this is for me speculations. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, how do you read this? Number one, highlights.
Well, first of all, Manchester United is undergoing major changes. That could be the only true statement, like in terms of fact, for me when I read that paragraph right there. And after that, thinking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe set out to a 25% stake, and it could lead to a surprise and unexpected decisions. Well, it's not so much a surprise if we're hearing all over the media everywhere that there's going to be a change in CEO, possibly the Blanc is coming in. We're going to have a change in director of football, and possibly, Paul Mitchell is coming in, replacing Richard Arnold and John Murtaugh. And then there's possible transfer rumors and hints of expenditure. So at the same time, it doesn't seem much of a surprise, but it all seems like speculation, because every single time, the fun fact for me is that all this news is coming out every new week, but it's not happening.
But what surprises me is that, the sacking of Richard Arnold was not to do with the takeover whatsoever. It's just basically the poor performance and poor handling of being the skipper, the CEO of the club, regarding the Jadon Sancho situation, regarding the Greenwood and everything that's been leaking out in the press lately. That kind of led to, like, we don't really trust you. And anyway, whoever comes in, like, as acquiring the keys to the kingdom of Old Trafford, will bring in their own staff. So hence what you're seeing, like, speculations, like, the best in class sporting director, the CEO, and all that stuff, right? So it makes sense. So makeshift, and it's exciting. Like, point number two, what's in this article as well is departures have already occurred with further change expected. Erik ten Hag could be the one, those who is safe. And there's been some speculations that he might not be safe. He's safe. But bringing in a sporting director means proper, like, that you're not alone making the decisions, like, in terms of who you're going to recruit. Because we've seen, you die by the sword, you live by the sword, in terms of the shambolic, 100 million transfer fee for, Anthony Dos Santos and stuff like that. We overpaid. And that was kind of the manager's perseverance of actually pushing for this. And well, what's your opinions regarding this then? Point number two.
A lot of same again. I would say a lot of truth mixed in with a little bit of spice, because we have seen departures, and we are possibly going to see more departures. Like, all United fans know that the backroom staff has not been amazing for the last 10 years, including some coaching staff members as well. So, and even some board members and executives on that level. So, the changes must happen in order for the club to move forward. At any way, it doesn't determine which owner owns the stake in the club, because changes are happening. In my opinion, I think changes are positive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I mean, if you look at the only positive, if it's 25% requirement, at least the fans needs to know, make it make sense, right? Make it make sense for us fans, so we can understand the roadmap ahead of us, right? So definite changes is needed, because for the past 10 years, 11 years, it's been run by bankers, not sporting people, right? So commercially, we've been doing fantastic. Like, we don't need a sugar daddy, is what I was saying. We just need somebody to stop that rot, basically, and make us great again as a football. And that comes into point number three in this article again, which is pretty much the Ratcliffe is less than impressed with United's recruitment strategy, wants to make significant changes, and it's no surprise considering some of the names on the list of players Glazers have purchased since their arrival. And we all know that, Mark, like, it's been more club signings than, manager signing. They've been overruling the managers. So coming to down that, like, we need a clear sporting vision. We need a clear recruitment strategy, defining the style of play of the manager, and recruit accordingly. There's been some instances, like, let's see, Jurgen Klopp, right? He said, I really want this player, but the role of the scouts and the recruitment department is to say, wait a minute, Jurgen, don't go for this one. Have a look at this alternative, that alternative. You might be convinced, because it definitely suits the persona profile and the way the club wants to play.
100%. And it's like, when you think about it, like, all of these changes are positive changes that the fans have been criticizing for themselves when you look carefully at it, because, the fans have critiqued the transfer of Anthony, everyone found that we overpaid at least 40 million, 35 million, could be a little bit more. You know, the facts are remain that if the club had gotten Anthony in May instead of in July, in August, then he would have been cost us 35 million, 45 million pounds. It's simple.
Yeah.
It's a matter of bad business, bad operation. You know, we don't have best in class. We really didn't have football people in charge. So all of these things seem to me very positive as a fan, because these are things that I myself criticized and I would like to see happen to the club. But at the same time, I still question, where's the actual official information coming out stating these changes, you know, confirming these things.
True.
You know, so I'm still taking it with a pinch of salt. And like my boy Carlos is saying this morning, you know, I hate spices. I mean, when it's not in my food, you know what I mean?
I like spicy food though, but if I had a crystal ball, like if there was one wish in terms of the transfer market, I mean, forget about the Glazers and everything. Everyone wants the Glazers out. But if there was one thing, one word that I could retract and go back in time, you know, in that movie Back to the Future, Marty McFly, I'll go back and I'll take away the words from, you know, Ed Woodward. We can do things in the market that no club can do. And that was the beginning of the shambolic, you know, Manchester United tax. They slapped 30%. As soon as Manchester United came acquire regarding a player, they slapped 30% off because they knew we couldn't not recruit, and they knew we were sucking at negotiations. On the other hand, as soon as City came in, boom, you know, okay, they buy players for 25 million, 45 million, and Manchester United comes in 70 million. Thank you. You know what I mean? So that's got to stop, yeah?
Yeah,
but I agree what you say. Yeah,
the transfer tax is real, you know. Like sometimes you want to complain about it as a Manchester United fan, you know what I mean? But when you look at Real Madrid, when you look at some other clubs, when they go in to buy players, you know, the players come at an extra cost as opposed to a club that is not as famous when they're going in for them. You know what I mean? I think it's just a matter of finances, but at the same time, I also think if we had better negotiation tactics or a better negotiation team, I think this problem would be not a problem. You know what I mean? I think the team that we had before was just poor at negotiating, and they just like to talk a lot, a big show, you know, like those buzz statements.
They have no clue. I mean, we all know what, like, when it was Matt Judge, and there was reports and scouts saying, "Can you get that Matt Judge to call me back? He never answers the phone." And if you just go back in time, how we chased Jadon Sancho for 2 years. And Dortmund was taking us for mugs. They took us to the cleaner. Same with Ajax. You know, we could have gone Anthony for 50 million. We waited to the end of the transfer window. How can your first signings post Sir Alex B. Moran
Fellaini?
Okay, don't get me started on Fellaini, people. Anyway, Mark. You know, according to Ben Jacobs, Manchester United made major changes recently with Sir Jim Ratcliffe set to acquire 25% in the club. He explained that to Give Me Sport, but also Sky News is also reporting that Ratcliffe is on the brink of finalizing the deal with Glazer to secure a minority stake in the club. The takeover should be formalized and announced by Thanksgiving now, 23rd of November. Let's keep kicking that can further down the road, you know. Okay, it was last Monday. Okay, it's Friday. Oh, okay, now it's Thanksgiving. Oh, we didn't reach the target, so we're kicking that can further down the road. And I find it, you know, ironically funny now because I'm tired of it. And for me, as what you said, you know, keep your powder dry and take it with a pinch of salt, because we've seen 100%. It for the past year, like, you know. And I think the ones that are reporting this is all for clicks, and you know, there's NDAs in place, and predominantly what I see it is pretty much coming from the Ineos camp, briefing the media like Sky News and stuff like that. But nobody's really talking to the Rain Group or the Glazer himself. So I would say that the most sensible thing, Mark, as a conclusion here, is similar situation where you saw the club announcement regarding the sacking of the CEO. The same thing will happen now with the takeover of the strategical review. Now, the reason why they're saying 23rd, you know what that is?
Thanksgiving,
yes. But it also marks the 1 year since Sky News had that, you know, the court Aaron Glazer, like, you know, in Thanksgiving, like it was celebrating Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, we are going through the strategical review, yada, 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 la, 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 la. It's been 1 year. So people are now expecting some feedback. And what media is not reporting, it is end of the strategical review, the tactical strategical review. It's been 1 year in the making. Bidders are expecting feedback. Nobody's actually receiving any feedback. So what it is, for me, according to my opinion, though, this is my opinion, it is that bidders are waiting for the final decision and feedback, right? I don't know. That's just been drummed up to be like, imminent, done deal. Here we go. So I do expect Fabrizio Romano to come in. Here we go. Personal terms, not a problem. Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants 25% of the stake, while Ineos, Sheikh Yassim ordered 100% of that T-bone stake, and he wants to eat it and share it with the Manchester United fans. Anyway, that's just a little bit of morning ramblings from my side of it. Too much coffee, Mick. Too much coffee.
Let me just address Yarli this morning. Big up to him coming in this early. Sir Jim won't buy the rest of the shares at 1.3 billion per 25%. The next 25% can cost him 3 billion. We will never know. And I have to agree with Yarli, because this is the thing, it's the problem with the Glazers is that you would never know. And as much as we knew a lot.
Yeah, can you bring back that again? Just do some simple mathematics. Yeah, continue talking. Let's park this comment here from Jarle. Good morning, Jarle from Norway. Keep going, and let's do some mathematics here, like some basic algebra, because Sky News failed to do that because they're reporting make it make sense, right? Make it make sense.
Exactly.
So the danger, what I've seen here, if it's the 25% what they're proposing right now, and then they say, okay, they did a club evaluation. According to Forbes, the club is valued on 4.8 billion, right? But according to, if Sir Jim Ratcliffe is putting this right now in 25%, what is remaining? 75%, right? On what? And you take that and you multiply that, and what do you get? You probably get an evaluation of 7-8-9 billion. So when he comes down to the 3 years down the track road, he's going to overpay, because the Glazers sees that forecast. Okay, you're buying 25% now. Okay, let's do the maths. Within 3 years, you're going to pay me whatever, right? You're going to pay me 6 billion now. So it's actually more expensive for Sir Jim Ratcliffe, the way I see it, right? Does that make sense?
In a way, it makes sense in a way, but then I still have to question that, Mick, because then when you think of the share price, right, the current share price, and then you think of the prices that have been told by the media, $33 a share would be the cost to purchase when he purchases the share on the NYSE, which is Jim Ratcliffe. If you do the math, right, there's 176 million shares in total, right? And his 25% stake would be 41 million of those shares. And if it's 41 million of those shares, then when you multiply 41 by 33, you get 1.09 billion, not 1.25 billion. So then where's the rest of the money going?
All right, that's a big point, and that's the hard question we got to ask here. Good morning, people. Wake up. Are you awake? Are you drinking coffee? Because United are put on the market in last November, accordingly, and we could about to see a deal finally complete, what the reports are saying, because it's 1 year in the making of that strategical review. Although many supporters of the Manchester United club was hoping to see a full sale only. And we still, on this channel, advocates for Glazers out full sale only. Nothing else will change. If you uphold your standards the way we play on the pitch, would you go for 25% performance, or would you demand 100% performance? Mark, what would you take?
I think for as a fan, you should be demanding 100% performance, because if we're demanding 100% from the players, we should be demanding 100% sale from this ownership. I think it's 100%. About time, because in my honest feeling, the Glazers had a chance. They had enough time to resurrect themselves as owners. Like, no one needs to like them. Let's be honest. All they needed to do was do a great job. They could have just said, you know what, say 5
But that's what they're trying to do now.
Maybe
that's
the next thing.
Yeah, but that's what they're trying to do now, to rectify what they've done wrong by giving Sir Jim Ratcliffe 25% to run the football operations, because they realize they messed up, right? Commercially, Manchester United has been doing great. Like, we don't need a sugar daddy. We just need somebody to stop taking the money out of the club. There's no other sporting club there that do If the money that's been generated goes back into the club for purchases of transfer market and stuff like that. So you need to stamp your authority as a fan to say, this is what we want, right? But at the same time, the reports are saying that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is stamping his authority, despite the deal yet not finalized. I'm gonna bring this to the stage again, so we can all read it, if you don't mind. So it says Sir Jim Ratcliffe has stamped his authority, despite a deal yet to be finalized. Ratcliffe is already having an influence in Old Trafford. United Chief Executive Richard Allen has been recently announced that he was stepping down, and XYZ. Reports also suggesting that John Marta expecting to departure, Paul Mitchell to come in and stuff like that. But I have a question. I do have posed a serious question in this morning news, Mark, as well, to the panel. How, if you haven't really got the keys to the kingdom, legally the owner, how can you stamp your authority? How can you then sack people? How can you tell people who to recruit? It's not technical possible. It's not legally possible. So this kind of debunks a little bit about the sensational news. And we are here to report on the news. We don't create the news, Mark.
100%. 100%.
But it says, although the Glazers haven't been afraid to splash the cash in the past, that's what the reports are saying. And excuse me, they splashed the cash, but they took in a lot of cash too, right? 100%. But again, it's been like, bad recruitment, club signings over manager signings. So, I mean, if it's a positive, if it is a 25, if that comes over the deal, the only positive that you can see is, okay, changes in the recruitment strategy, sporting director, and a new CEO, and that's about it. But then what about clearing the debt, clearing the FFP still looming, especially with the Premier League cracking down on Everton, Chelsea, reports of Manchester City. We got to be careful there, right? Because we are already on that. We are already in debt, and we generate about 600 in revenue, but the debt is still 1 billion and needs to be repaid. Anyway, big up. Good morning.
And as he mentions this, I'm just gonna jump in with a little bit of other news around Manchester United. You know what I mean? And we could always close off on the balance of what we were talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And as he's talking about the depth and the failing businesses, I just want to highlight to everyone's attention, there's a new stage of decay at the Old Trafford statement, as on the game against Man City this weekend this week with the ladies team. There was pieces of debris falling from the ceilings during the game. Some even hit some fans. So, guys, you know what I mean? It's been a lot of decay at the club, a lot of rot, mismanagement by the Glazers, and we could see that this is the 18 years of, not doing anything but making a profit, not reinvesting in a club that was the best in the world, the leader of sport technology and everything, and best in class at the time.
This was shared to me. This was shared to me by 1958 as well. They say, Mick, you better do something about it. You better report it. And absolutely shocking. It's baffling. If you look at the concrete, this is above above, everything is cracking. Everything is falling down. The toilets are stinky, pissy. There's a roof. So it saddens me. It's a sad state of affair. And this is, sometimes you got to call a spade, and you got to call it for what it is, right? We cannot sweep it under the carpet. Because this is a club, this is our infrastructure. We are the consumers on the game, and we need to stamp our authorities, right? But if you are a match-going fan, you're a season ticket holder, you're paying a lot of money. Unfortunately, we cannot do that, Mark, because we are living abroad, but we still support the club. But you can imagine people going there, the visitors. It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace to let this beautiful stadium rot for 18 years, right? When 100%. They bought Manchester United, when they bought they got Old Trafford, and Old Trafford back then was a state-of-the-art stadium. Carrington was a state-of-the-art training facilities. But if you haven't done anything, like if you bought a car 18 years ago, you bought, that time it was a Mercedes, and 18 years now you're driving a rusty Skoda or a Fiat Ritmo or whatever. Like this hardly can. It takes you from A to B, but it's not Bluetooth, it's not self-navigation, it's not all that, right? So that just displays the poor robbery of this family, what they've done to us. And and if you go on 25%, and half of that 25% is going to go directly into the Glazers' pockets, right? And where is the rest going to? They're saying, oh, well, it's going to go to 300. The owner's going to pump into the infrastructure. But if you go back to where this picture was, again, the debris, if you take it back, Mark, that's not enough to fix it. There's a lot of work to be done here, right?
A lot
That's
of
not
work
even,
to be done.
there's a lot of infrastructure damage, right? And also the reports was then coming to say that, yeah, even if you're going to do some structural work, the ground under Old Trafford, when it's built, it's not stable. It's not stable to add on more capacity. It's not stable. So
100%.
the question is, should you let Old Trafford be refurbished like that? You will spend more than 300 million, or would you just invest, get naming rights, and build something next to it, and let this be like a complex for training or for the under 21s to play, the women's team, XYZ? That's those questions that I have.
I have the same questions, but I also have a firm belief that Old Trafford is iconic. You know what I mean?
It
It's
is
synonymous
iconic.
with the ships on the sails, on the crest, with the Red Devil. It's part of the fabric of the club. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, whatever is going to be done, it needs to be restored in some way, shape, or form. It cannot be left as is in no way. So, at the same time, like, I would love for someone to come in who has the metal to do all of these things and implement them. You know what I mean? I think all of these things will not only show the fans, but the team as well, the drive and determination for success going forward in the future. And I think letting all these things rot and go to the substandard that it has now become, when you can class our training pitches on the same level with Reading. No offense to Reading, but we are
No
Manchester
offense.
United. You know what I
No
mean?
offense.
And these things should not be left by the wayside anymore. And I could understand why fans want them out. And that's why I said they've had enough chance. They've had enough time. They've done
But
all
no
they
offense,
can.
Mark. No offense, Mark. Like it's like you started dating your wife 18 years ago, and you've been married for 18 years. You've just been neglecting her. The lady needs daily care, tender love, and care to feel secure, and that's just analogy of life, right? So imagine that Old Trafford is that old lady that's been rusting and been neglecting and misused, right? So we definitely need a facelift, and definitely need some pampering people. Mark, what's on your agenda? What's on your radar in the paper talks here next?
Well,
Next.
moving on next in the paper talks, we just have a few bits and bobbles here. This is some news from the international break. As everyone knows, Marcus Rashford had a tough go in the first international game where he was reported as injured. But with the cameo last night, Erik ten Hag is said to be breathing a sigh of relief as the player's injury status is now been confirmed, and it's just a knock, and he will be available and back in training tomorrow, as with most of the squad, excepting for the South Americans who will be arriving on Friday, I believe, or Thursday. They said Friday, but maybe it was the paper I saw was in my region, so therefore it could mean Thursday in our time. So, yeah, that's basically what I have to say about that. Then I will move on quickly and give this bit of information because, as we know, Rafael Varane, it's been trending, and it's possibly true, as he has been reported to have his injured in contact with Bayern Munich as they consider January soup. And if the reports are true and the rumors, then it's been green lighted by Sir Jim Ratcliffe. So,
But how can you that don't have the keys to the kingdom as of yet, dominate and tell people what to do, because that's not legally possible, right? You can influence, but it's not there yet. That's your wishful thinking. And the same thing
exactly,
goes what he was saying with Anthony Martial, the paper talks as well.
exactly.
And same thing goes also with Jadon Sancho rumors for Juventus as well. That is Sir Jim Ratcliffe continue. He wants to do something XYZ. But at the end of the day, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Any given Sunday, who wouldn't? You would look at the dead woods, but at the same time, January, it's never this. The seller's market, it's the buyer's market, and they're going to take you to the dry cleaners because they know that you need to get rid of, and they know that you need to buy. So January technically is never a good window for Manchester United. Of course, we We got Bruno Fernandes over in that January window, was success, right? But past windows, we've been doing loan deals like Igalo, Iggy, Weghorst, Sabitzer,
Yeah,
stuff like that. So perhaps the most sensible thing is save your powder for summer and just go for the identify loan targets to get by for the, until summer, right?
that's what I'm thinking, but there are different reports. There's another conflicting report that's coming out. I'll get back to the January transfer because I have some information about that as well. But the new report is that, Manchester United right back is being eyed by West Ham should Ten Hag sanction his exit. But this
Oh,
is a kind of conundrum of a post
oh,
because as we know that they're exploring a brand new contract for Iron Wan-Bissaka as we speak. Talks may not have been in full swing, but the exploration is there. The the initial contact has been made between the club and his agent. So you can take this with a pinch of salt because I believe Aaron Wan-Bissaka is going to receive a brand new contract for his performance over the last season and a half. And
yeah.
yeah, so I
I know
think this is
people in
more.
the VR room, in the chat, people that's watching, leave a comment in the comment section below. I certainly think he's a keeper. He's definitely a keeper. He's the best one-on-one defender in the league or potentially in the world as well. And he's got a lot of development. So I don't see us cashing in on him. Potentially what we've been linked to Frimpong again, the same old, same old. Maybe a right back because I don't see Diego Dalot reaching the heights what we thought it would be. He was given a chance by Mourinho. Mourinho brought him in, but he's good going forward. But I can't really, put my finger on the pulse of what he is. Right? Is he a, right winger? Is he a left winger? Is he left back or full back? I don't know. But he's definitely got some flaws in it. And when he's got this tendency to go to sleep, never has fully 90 minutes of full concentration. He does well the first and a half, and then he just falls asleep. So we definitely need wingers, fullbacks. Tell me one. If you look at Premier League, like Liverpool, everyone builds the football on the wingers, like on the fullbacks. Sorry, tell me how many assists have our fullbacks provided? None. We don't. Seriously, they are more like the old school defenders. Modern football today, they're bombing forward. And I thought with Serge
100%.
Reguilon, we would see something different. But so far, haven't seen it, right? So definitely the style of play, the way Ten Hag wants to play, builds around defense and the fullbacks, to be honest, and the transition of the balls.
Yeah, it has. And it has to
Yes, it
change, Mick, because like
has to
our average
change.
age of the fullback is pretty old. Its average age is like 29 or something like that, which is no good. So we definitely need to see some introduction in the back line, maybe one introduction in the midfield. But I think all in all, the back line needs the most attention right now. And any fan who pays attention to Manchester United should also agree with what I'm saying when it comes to the defense, because we really don't have anyone. I mean, we're down to the bare bones when Diego Dalot has to play from right back to left back because there's no right back available or
Yeah.
left back to substitute for him. So,
Yep.
and then we are down to the fifth and the sixth choice centre backs.
Yeah.
Like what club? What club
Well, I
in the
mean,
top?
we need an overhaul there. Like, and I agree with the
Yeah,
Jolly Malmin, what he's saying in the comments section here. I would love to have a trade chip of Varane to Bayern, and in return, we get Matthias de Ligt. Thoughts?
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
not bad.
That's a
Not bad.
very good shout. Very good shout. And I'll bring this onto the table and give him full screen because this is my boy here. And I'm very excited about this news as Manchester United links starlet agents confirm his player is pushing for a January move. And not only that, but further report says that his agent knows that Manchester United is circling and he is ready to take his agent to Manchester United and the player who has been tearing it up in the Brazilian league so far this season. After last season scoring 17 goals, he's already scored 5 this season, has 3 assists, and he's been very,
Is
very
it
good.
Marcos Leonardo?
It is Marcus Leonardo.
Oh, we did we on this channel, we actually, we did a scouting report in the very first beginning in the summer window, and we, I think we were the first one to talk about Leonardo. He's a fantastic player. He's such an amazing player, and he offers you something different. He gives you a little bit of a vibe of the old, Ronaldinho a little bit, right? So it's kind of like so exciting. He's so fast, low center gravity. He's like a bull, right? And he's a master of chipping in the ball as well. So yeah, he was very closely linked to United in the summer, and we could have get it on the cheap. AC Roma was also linked to it, but he turned down AC Roma. So they promised him to actually sell him in January. And we need a striker. We need a striker.
Yeah,
Definitely need a striker, Mark.
and
I mean,
like
Rasmus Højlund cannot do it himself.
he can't, like, I mean, he shouldn't be expected to, and although he's very young and he's very talented, Rasmus Højlund deserves to play at least 1.5 games a week. You know what I mean? Any person that is doing at the best, they need to get their rest in. And I think it's the same thing with Diego Dalot. He plays well, but he's the only left back. He's the only player besides Bruno that plays every game. When is he getting chance to rest? I mean, Bruno is great, but if Bruno was well rested every time he plays, I think he would be amazing. You know what I mean?
Player swap for Varane and De Ligt will be lit. That's funny. But also a player swap for then. Would you player swap? Let's say Diego Dalot for Frimpong.
I would say I don't know, but I mean, Frimpong is amazing. I'm a huge Diego Dalot fan, but as it is, I guess looking on the play so far, I think I might just take the Frimpong deal, but I'm also tempted to say, you know what, I'm backing Dalot to be better because I think he deserves a little bit of a time to make an adaptation because he hasn't had time to rest this season, and he came off of a season last season playing 45 games and an injury. So I think if we get some more competition and add Frimpong to the team, then we might have a better thing in store. And I'd 100%. Want to say this, Mick. Nigel Flynn is flying in this morning. I was 100% Qatar, but now it is what it is. Sir Jim is influencing change already, and that is positive. Mick, I wonder, will Ineos absorb the United debt into their business model? And Shaw back weekend. Woohoo!
It's yet to be defined because nobody really knows what they would do. And this is the problem, right? As far as I'm concerned, we always, look at the two sides of the story. But nobody really knows the structure of the deal. Nobody really knows the figures of the deal. And nobody really understands what is possible to absorb the debt. If you're a 25% minority investor, I'm sure you cannot observe the commercial side of it because the commercial side would belong to the Glazers. He's taking charge of the operational side. What he can do is clear the transfer money that you own on the transfer market certain ways because we do own 300 million. I think it was the financial reports that we borrowed 300 million from in credit line from Santander. So to lower down the FFP, you need to lower down the wages. You need to get rid of certain players, but also pay off the debt in the transfer market. So yet to be seen. But yes, guess what? That's coming down to the crescendo because it's just been booked and confirmed. Tomorrow, lunchtime special, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock Central European time, 11 a.m. in the morning for you UK chaps. It's going to be Swedish Rumble, Make It Make Sense. The Swedish Rumble, myself, and potentially Paul White. There's 3 heavyweights in the ring. We're going to try to make it sense. For you that don't know the Swedish Rumble, he's been providing a fantastic breakdown in everything. He's a lawyer. He's a business lawyer and mergers acquisitions, so he knows what he's talking about. He's also been providing amazing tweets regarding Manchester City, the allegations and 115 charges, and Paul White, and potentially is going to join us. So we're going to unpack everything. Gloves coming off tomorrow, Nigel. So potentially we can answer your question more directly tomorrow, Nigel. But thank you for your donation in Super Chat. Big up to you, my friend, and have a blessed morning and rest of the day to you, sir.
And Nigel, just before I let you go, I'm just going to mention this to you. Shaw has only touched grass in Carrington this week.
Showback.
So he's just touched grass.
Shawshank Redemption.
The Shawshank Redemption has some time away as the player has just started working on grass, not even with a ball yet. So it's up in the air when he's going to be actually available for the starting 11 in the team. So I don't think he's going to be starting on Saturday or being on the bench on Saturday. I think he's going to be back maybe in the next 2 to 3 weeks. I actually think the news of him being back is just to let everyone know that his fitness progress, because I don't actually think we're going to see him before January, but that's just my opinion, guys. Sorry to be a bearer of bad news. And good morning to you as well, Neil Driscoll. Not forgetting to tell you that. And I just wanted to highlight one or two other transfers that might be making the rounds that I spoke about yesterday, Mick. The first on the table is Jean-Claude Todibo, who has been sanctioned by Jim Ratcliffe.
Yes.
And
Another
I'll move along
paper
quickly.
Ineos player. Yeah.
Tapisoba is another one rumored. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This young man is Scalini, the young Golden Boy award winner who won the award for best young defender in the league last season.
Oh, Chelsea's chasing him. Everyone is chasing him. Yes,
but he has a crush on Manchester United, Mick.
Oh, so bring it on!
It's all good. They can chase. The young starlet has been said by his agent to have a slight fetish for the Red Club in Manchester and possibly might be inclined to joining them. Gonçalo Higuain has also been said to have spoken, and his first option has been Manchester United. I don't know if this is thanks to the captain Bruno, being a transfer exec agent in the deal for us. But we know there's other little rumors about, and as you talked about January and how we need to buy smartly. I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention that there's the Brazilian market, and there's some players there that, just like Marcos Leonardo, that we have been looking at to replace members of our squad. And one of these players is Loraan. And everyone, you can see him. He's in the red and black already with the white trunks, and I think he looks good in our colors already. You know what I mean? he's already there. It's the same colors as my home country. So as well. So it's the red, white, and black.
Yeah. Trinidad,
and when
Tobago,
you look good in red, when you look good in red, white, and black, you have to keep wearing it. It's just what we do. You know what I mean? So. Red is a very confident color.
It's like Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman, Pretty in Red. All that. Red, it's good. Red is the color of Manchester.
Always.
Anyway, guys.
I move along, the last but certainly not least, there's Luis Guilerhme, who's also been interested in coming to Manchester United, but have also seen that, interest in him has been ramped up by West Ham as well as Chelsea and Man City. You know what I mean? We already knew that Arsenal was considering him last summer, but he had chosen United over Arsenal if he was to move. So now it might make things a little bit difficult, but you never know how it goes. And this is just a paper talk, information and news as we close out today. And I said yesterday, people keep an eye on Charles de Ketelaere. If you don't know who he is, get to know his name.
Never heard of him.
He is like a register. He is 6'4".
Whoa!
He is everything that we possibly wanted Scott McTominay to be on the ball and not just in the box. So guys, check him out.
He's an upgraded version of Scott McTominay then.
He's supposed to be.
Latest Android update, right?
Yeah. So just to mention him as well, I must replay the master, the guy who's supposed to assist Højlund up front next season. And this young man, his agent is confirming everywhere that he's leaving, and everything is centered around the Red Devils right now.
Oh, yes,
and I
bring him on.
He looks good in white. We have a white kit, and that little devil in the center will be really nice on his chest.
You know what, Mark? He will look better in red, to be honest.
Well, yeah, but I was just classifying that he's already wearing the same color as our third kit this season, and he's gonna fit in just fine. You know what I mean?
But let us know in the comments who you prefer, because you have Benjamin Sesko, which is another favorite of mine. Talk to me about.
Benjamin Sesko has been reported as being available for sale in January, as the RB team are unable to keep the starlet within the company due to some new changing rules in UEFA. And the starlet has said that he knows the Premiership wants him, but he wants Manchester United.
Yes, because this is an old lady that won't go away, because his agent, Elvis Bosanovic, was visiting John Murtaugh last season as well. And they were talking about potentially, because RB Leipzig was kind of selling him and put like a preseason clause for him to go from the sister company to the major No, it was a Salzburg to Leipzig, and they wanted to cash in 45 million. We could have gone for it. So, yeah, this is a player that I'm very excited about. He's a tall stature, something that Ten Hag likes to play. He's explosive. He's another kind of a carbon copy, a little bit of maybe a little bit better version of Højlund, but we haven't seen Højlund yet, and still young. But we already have that profile, Mark. We already have this tall stature profile. So I think that Marcus Leonardo would be the perfect one. A little bit shorter, a little more technical link-up play, and a little bit of a Martial, like, link-up linker. So excites me.
It does. And funny you should say that. Like I'm one of these guys that I kind of watch Sesko a lot because he plays for Serbia, I believe. And they
no,
against
Slovenia,
my bad. And
yes,
they played against, so I just watched him a lot, and I just think that although he's a big guy, he has that mobility. And let me just give you the last bit of news, which I don't believe, because to me it seems like we're going to repeat a situation that we've been repeating: a big name, big money, big salaries, last contract of his career. I'm not too happy about this, but this is still the paper talk. So as we close, guys, I just wanted to mention this to you so that you could understand where we're at. Where's the news around Manchester United? This, guys.
No, don't grease me up.
We don't want no greases.
Don't grease
me up. Oil.
Grease me up.
Oil me up. Don't give us grease.
Don't grease me up. Grease me up. No, guys, don't want that. That's the last thing we do. We don't need Galacticos on big money. We are trying to lower down the FFP, lower down the wage bill, and we don't want somebody's reject.
Exactly.
That's my opinion.
Exactly.
Anyways, Mark, take it away.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for joining me, Mick. And as I go in, let me thank everyone for joining us this morning. Thank you to the VR room. All of you were amazing this morning. Thank you for your comments. Yali Malmin, I see you're still here. Romano has confirmed already that Griezmann talk is not true. Thank you very much for mentioning
Fake
that,
news.
Yali. You know what I mean? Compost Smurf, you're still here, bro. We're skint, but linked to every 50 million plus young talent.
Yep. We're Manchester
so
United.
True, guys. We're Manchester United, guys. You can never forget this. Mark Davies, why did the Glazers pick Ratcliffe over Qatar? They had more money. That them Ineos Glazers out, Mark. Yeah, I agree with you guys. And I'll end with Nigel Flynn and said the mainstream media is sensationalizing again regarding saying top 4. It's top 5 qualified this season for Champions League. And how is everyone? Welcome to the show, Moha Hamza Zain. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you for joining us. And Bella's gonna say goodbye to you guys. As I hope.
Can I also say goodbye?
Oh, sure.
You forgot me. You forgot me.
I thought you left.
No, I'm still here, people. I'm still here. Mark is hijacking. Never give Mark the keys to your Ferrari. He will just drive it away. Like he robbed the bank and he will drive it like as fast, getting multiple speeding tickets. Anyway,
listen.
Don't
this
forget, has been a
guys.
fantastic morning show. Like and subscribe. Don't forget. I just want to promote something. If you missed the Sunday roast with me and Poppy, that was an epic stream where we roasted everything, and we're going to do this. We're going to do a director's cut that's going to come later. That means that we're going to call it Sky News Rat Infested. So we're actually roasting the whole takeover process for fun because we are tired of it. Everyone is tired of it, and we're going to roast everything. It's a little bit of a random bands, but it's also got some truth bombs in it. So people, I'm going to release that video around 4 p.m. UK time or 5 p.m. UK time. It's uploaded. It's going to be a premiere. It's not live, but that means that you can still chat in there, but don't super chat. You can talk to each other and leave comments. And speaking about my comments, we do appreciate your opinions, your comments. Leave a comment in the comment sections below. Mark, take it away. Thank you, people, for having me as your guest. And I'm
Thank
out
you,
of
guys.
here.
Thank you, Mick, for joining me today. And thank you, everyone. And
I
Bella,
hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up by smashing that like button. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. If you want to take it to the next level, you can always show your appreciation to sponsor our channel by clicking below the video title, where you will see the heart icon with the text saying, thanks. Or you could buy me a cheeky little coffee by scanning this barcode, or visit this link to buy me a virtual coffee. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this content. Remember, glory, Man United. Glazers out. It is green and gold until we are announced and sold. That was all from me. I wish you a good day and a great match experience, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.